I'm Matt,
And I'm Rissa.
and we're here to coach you in how to have an exceptional life. So today we're going to talk about want versus need.
Great. I need $1 million.
You're going to love today's conversation.
All right, Matt. So what is want versus need?
So most of us think that we're very clear on what it is that we need in life and what we want in life. And for most of us, what we need is a good family. We need to be loved. We need money, right? But that's not actually accurate. In life, human beings have just a few basic needs, right? Air, water, food, shelter maybe. That's about it. We could argue about sociality, but money doesn't make the list, right? Happiness doesn't make the list. Love doesn't make the list. But we react to many of the things in life as if they are things that we need, not things that we want. So why does that matter? Great question, right? Need is driven by survival. The things that we need are to keep us alive, to keep us safe, to keep us comfortable.
Right.
The things that we want are desires and are usually generated by what we'll call self, spirit, or soul, something independent from our brainstem. But when we get the two confused, we get ourselves into a difficult situation, right? And most people think that they're clear on what they need, but we don't live life that way, right? I need air to survive. But if I were to suddenly start trying to take your air and put it into like Ziploc bags and store them, you wouldn't react like, oh yeah, I mean, we all need air in case you run out, there's some good air over there, right? You'd think I was a psychopath. Yes, exactly. We don't react to things based on want versus need. We think we do, but that's not actually how we respond. We react based on the opinion of how easy is it for us to obtain the thing.
Scarcity.
Exactly. If we think something is scarce, we want to get as much as we can. If we think something is abundant, we don't worry about it. So while in this situation, if I am trying to take your air, I am a weirdo, right? If we are scuba diving and I tap on my regulator and it shows instead of having a full tank, I actually have an empty tank and the gauge was just stuck. Now it makes perfect sense when I try and take your air, right? Because suddenly it has become a scarce resource and it's something that I feel if I do not have it, I will die.
Well, you might arguably actually die.
Correct. In that situation, those actions are perfectly reasonable. The difficulty is we see people all the time reacting the same way. If I don't get X, I will die or I will suffer in situations where that thing is not an actual requirement for survival or safety.
So the important thing about understanding that these things are different, want and need, is that gives you more power over them. It's not letting your machinery take control and say you need, to hoard all the toilet paper because there's a pandemic. It's saying instead, okay, I can take this slow and not worry about this and know that there's probably enough toilet paper and I can get more later. Probably it's going to be okay.
Exactly. It's such a great analogy too, right? Human beings have existed for, thousands and thousands of years without toilet paper and did just fine, right? But suddenly, ice is coming in Texas and there is no toilet paper to be found in the state. because we don't react, as you said, based on reality. We react based on scarcity versus abundance. And then the key here is that nothing in the world is actually scarce. Nothing in the world is actually abundant. That's always going to be an interpretation. And we'll be talking more about interpretation in another video, so make sure you watch that one too. But most of the time, that interpretation comes automatically. It's not generated by us. So as you said, there's no power involved because there's no me. It is just survival instinct. And in cases where survival instinct is important, great, react from there. But that's very rarely in a very short period of time for most human beings. So as you said with the toilet paper, right? Figure out how much toilet paper I need, figure out how much toilet paper I have, figure out how much toilet paper is between those two numbers, and then you get that much toilet paper. And then you have an alternate plan if I'm not able to get that much toilet paper. But, as you said, I've seen situations in icepocalypse or pandemic where people come out of it and they've got, a room filled with toilet paper that does them no good, and it has actually hampered their quality of life because of that scarcity mentality.
Yeah, they have less money than they had before. They have probably less space in their house.
Exactly. And again, this is something we do all the time, everywhere. It's not other people do it. We do it as well. And the whole point of this conversation is to have us be aware of it, as you said, to have power over that machinery so that we can actually choose ways of looking at things that make a difference for us.
And some of these are very rooted in experiences in the past that we haven't really been able to come to terms with or let go of. So for instance, I had food scarcity in my past. And so then I get anxious about where is my next meal going to be, or do I have enough food? I often have tons of snacks with me everywhere I go. And that comes from that past feeling of scarcity. But at this point in my life, that is not my reality. I have money and I can buy food just basically anytime I want. And it's something that I can let go of as a need and try to bring back to the balance of want.
It's perfectly said.
Awesome. Should we give them some homework?
We should. So your homework this week is going to be choose an area of your life where you experience scarcity and get related to what's actually so about that spot. What do you have? What don't you have? And then for whatever you want in that area, what's required? And then how do you bridge that gap? As always, thank you so much for spending your time with us. If you'd like to find out more about what we do, go to www.anexceptionallife.com/newsletter, and you can sign up for our emails and be the first to find out about new videos, as well as when we host the 24 hours of coaching, where we'll have 24 free 1-hour coaching slots. As always, your time and attention are yours, and you have given them very generously, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.